This time, Remy Ma is in the hospital, but it's not because of stress, stage lights, or turmoil from the studio. Rather, the entire party was shut down due to a severe beating, blood, and bruises. Sources claim that Claressa Shields struck Remy so violently that it shook the wall. The DJ stopped the music, drinks spilled, and Papoose just stood there motionless, as though he had forgotten whose woman he had brought. Was Remy just attempting to win back her man in front of everyone? Or was this sheer ego gone nuclear as it went from champagne to chaos, from cupcakes to battle? Since Claressa reportedly discarded the gloves and threw hands for dominance rather than sport, she could see that tension had turned to the real champion in the room. Only anger and retaliation, along with a right punch so clean that it sent Remy flying through the prawn platter, were present. No rings, no rules. Even worse than love and hip-hop reunion evenings is the fact that the video was released. We have stolen paints, compromised security, and discarded them as extras and Remy. Let us dismantle this disaster from the ground up. It started with a private party that was hosted by none other than Mr. Royalty himself, Papoose, and was meant to be a relaxed evening. The irony was that by the end of the evening, someone was establishing a new relationship with a hospital gurney. The theme was new beginnings. This is not a gossip story. Rather, it is a scandal on steroids, a verbal sparring match that descended into violence. And you can be sure that the hip-hop streets will never be the same. Let's add the turbulent love triangle that created the conditions for this disaster to the swollen jaws and purportedly shattered ribs. Since Papoose became too comfortable with Olympic gold medalist and two-time world boxer Claressa Shields, Remy Ma, the bronze battle rap queen and recent attention-getter, has been gaining popularity. According to multiple sources, Remy arrived at the party wearing all red, and some of the women who were invited showed up with ring lights. If you thought the tension between these women was low, her smile vanished as quickly as DJ Envy's reputation when she saw Claressa wrapped around Papoose like a satin belt. The nasty part, though, is that it turns out Remy had been begging Papoose to cut Claressa off behind the scenes. Remy claimed that Papoose was spending training time with Claressa at odd hours, so she used voice notes, screenshots, and even rumors of a burner phone to hunt him down. Ray's Jeep is not new, as you may remember. The whole area smelled like peaches and pettiness. So this party wasn't a celebration, but rather a countdown to conflagration. During an industry brunch last month, she allegedly hurled a glass of champagne at Claressa, yelling, "She can box, but she can't bake." However, according to insiders, Claressa brought her entourage, her title belts, and a gaudy little necklace that read Mr. Shield Pose in diamonds, so she didn't show up at the party empty-handed. One anonymous visitor, who we'll refer to as Bottle Girl Brenda, claims that after the second moat round, everything started to go wrong. Claressa got up, moved over to the DJ, mumbled something, then suddenly leaned back and started playing loud music, but Remy kept staring at her like she was the final boss in Mortal Kombat. Oh, Remy has a certified level of sympathy. Claressa looked around, smiled, and reportedly murmured, "She's still," while she was sipping her drink with her pinky out. Then, with a finger-pointing, wig-tight voice, cameras were out in seconds, and Papoose was nowhere to be seen. Emmy shouted, "Your ex-husband. Let's not confuse paperwork with possession." Claressa calmly put down her drink and said, "Your ex-husband. Let's not confuse paperwork with possession. You think you're going to parade around with my husband like this isn't my city." Then, presto, a perfectly frosted red velvet cupcake. Remy apparently came in swinging and landed a slap so loud that it silenced the room. But baby Claressa responded with a left hook that sent Remy flying into the buffet table. Another anonymous source, who might have been the DJ himself, claimed that Claressa moved like a panther and jabbed like a demon on espresso. After knocking over crab legs, shrimp cocktails, and one very unlucky birthday cake shaped like a boxing box, Partygoers say they had to literally pry me off the carpet while she kept mumbling, "I'm fine, I'm good, I just slipped." Girl, you slipped into a coma of regret. That's what you did. By the time someone yelled, "Call 911," Remy was on the floor, dazed, with frosting in her braids and anger in her eyes. This wasn't just a fight. It was a PR disaster, a viral eruption, and possibly the most insane celebrity beatdown since Solange in that elevator. And guess who showed up after the ambulance left? Papoose, wearing a velvet blazer, was chewing a chicken wing as if nothing had happened. Claressa, for heaven's sake, was completely unharmed and even posed for a selfie with 2 emergency medical personnel, one of whom reportedly asked her to sign a boxing glove. Let's continue where we left off because, well, it gets worse because that was only the beginning. In just 17 minutes, the internet exploded when Ray's stretcher had barely touched the rear of the ambulance. Hashtag #ClaressaClaked was at the top of the X, formerly Twitter, trend. Reinda said, "Lean back," one user wrote on Twitter. "Legit down," added Claressa. Someone else uploaded a meme of Ray's face that was placed onto a folding chair from WVOD and read, "This is what happens when you square up with an Olympian." We don't know who took the footage, but based on the angle, the shaky camera, and someone whispering, "Girl, that's her zoom in," we know it was real. The footage showed a rib wheeled in, face covered, arm in a sling, and what appeared to be a rolled ankle from landing in the crab legs tray. The twist is that she was screaming, allegedly saying, "You all better not." But while the memes were going viral, something much darker was simmering in the background. While Remy was causing chaos in the emergency department, Claressa was displaying composure on Instagram, posting a picture of her immaculately manicured fist with the message, "Didn't even break a nail. I swear I'll throw hands with her entire camp and press charges if she gets close to me again." Hashtag training is eternal. Celebrities were going crazy in the comments area, saying things like, "Snoop Dogg, you all better stop playing with real fighters." The pettiness was insane. I stay in my lane because of this. But while the public was laughing, Remy's camp was furious. An anonymous source close to her stylist claims that Remy is thinking about going to court because she feels deceived by Papoose and is trying to have Claressa barred from any events she attends. She is reportedly demanding an immediate restraining order, medical reimbursement, and an official apology because it seems like she gets upset just looking at a boxing glove these days. But let's go back a little because some of the most scandalous developments happened after the hospital footage was made public. According to some reports, Remy requested a private room on the Shah Parade, but when the nurse told him that they were all full, she allegedly growled, "I won't share a room with anybody unless it's my man, and he doesn't even want to share a house with me right now." According to some reports, Remy also suffered a minor dislocation of his shoulder, 2 bruised ribs, 1 chipped acrylic, and, quote, "a deeply bruised ego," and possibly PTSD from the seafood buffet trauma. When someone brings up real estate, I get jealous. He reportedly returned to the party rather than rushing to his wife's side at the hospital, took a shot of DUS, and started freestyling. Yes, this was caught on camera, and Claressa had to check her slash. I told them to calm down, but when the cake hit the stretcher, the audience cheered. Who freestyles after their wife gets sent to urgent care? When Claressa went live on Instagram the next morning, she looked lovely in a silk dress, adding, "Don't start fights, but you damn sure finish them," she said, adding, "I didn't even want to go there with her, but when someone calls you a side chick and throws food in your face in front of 150 people, yeah, I had to remind her what the hands do." Ray's camp tried to contain the controversy, and her publicist released a terse statement stating that Remy Ma is recovering in a private setting and appreciates the support she's getting, but she has no comment at the moment. Some insiders speculate that Remy might try to sue Papoose for emotional distress, while others say she wants to file charges for assault and public humiliation. There is also a particularly shady claim that Ray is already talking about filming a series called Fists and Faithfulness, which tells the story of Remy's redemption arc. And you guessed it, Mona Scotty Young is rumored to be narrating it. Finally, there are the fans, who have been engaging in Olympic-level trolling, with one user setting up a GoFundMe with the title, "Help Remy Rebuild Her." While the internet is having fun, the real damage is just beginning. Ray's scheduled appearances are reportedly being cancelled one after another. A makeup brand she was about to work with has halted negotiations, and fans are threatening to show up at her next show shouting "ding ding" while wearing boxing robes. Edges is selling Claressa clapback t-shirts featuring the silhouette of Remy flying through a cake, and the shirts sold out in 2 hours. Claressa is busy and unconcerned, even tweeting. There is one person we haven't heard from yet, and her silence speaks louder than the punch itself. That's right, keep in mind that there won't be any interviews, tweets, or Instagram Live, just hospital curtains and rumors that she's planning something big, like a lawsuit, a press conference, or a diss track with Easy the Block Captain. We don't yet know, but one thing is for sure, she isn't taking this lightly. A podcast deal has been dropped, a rumor campaign involving Remy has been quietly cancelled, and her upcoming reality show pilot, ironically named Remy Reloaded, is now in limbo. The industry is no longer laughing now that we've reached the point where the glitter wears off, the bruises heal, and the fallout hits like Remy did at that dessert table, according to insiders. Tennis-style paparazzi footage of Remy being carried out of the medical center at 3:14 a.m. surfaced after producers were worried that she might appear too unpredictable and unstable on camera. Although she was protected from questions by her security and hooded shades, one reporter shouted over the chaos, "Remy, did Claressa ruin your marriage and your mirth?" She didn't respond, but a voicemail that was allegedly left by Papoose just hours after the brawl leaked. "It's devastating, Rem. I'm speechless. I didn't think it would get this bad. I told you to calm down, but you didn't listen. Claressa isn't just any girl. She fights for a living. You knew you were going into a fight with heels on. I'm ashamed. Call me when you're clear-headed." Rem lost a fight, and it sounds like she may have lost her man. Her legal team is working non-stop right now. There has been talk of retaliation behind the scenes, not in the streets, but in the studio, where producers close to Remy say she's already working on a diss track. Claressa's response was a forward statement via her publicist telling her to train Wu. According to the documents, Claressa showed a willful disregard for Remy Ma's physical safety, and her actions were intentionally humiliating in front of Ray's peers, fans, and potential collaborators. The allegedly hands off the throne record allegedly contains subtle jabs at Claressa's career, Papoose's royalty, and even a full verse dedicated to snakes and silk robes with sucker punches. According to a leaked line, "I gave you bars, gave you gold, / she gave him jabs. Now she thinks she's bold." Claressa is unconcerned, as rumors have it that she has been approached by 2 fitness companies to launch her own hand-certified boxing program, which emphasizes that this isn't just about celebrities behaving badly. This is about public safety, one councilwoman said, referring to the New York City Council's investigation into the fight site, which cited a lack of crowd control, no security protocol, and an inability to defuse a high-profile altercation, according to an anonymous source. The first episode of the show, Fighting for More, is titled Party Foul, and guess what? Someone may have suffered catastrophic injuries. The situation is complicated because there are rumors that Papoose is leaving the house he once shared with Romeo after a neighbor allegedly saw a U-Haul van pull up at 6 in the morning, and shortly after, boxes marked studio equipment memorabilia and Pat's hoodies were seen being hauled in. In addition to Ray's pride, there is even a popular petition called Ban Claressa from Parties that has gathered over 92,000 signatures and aims to protect wigs, wings, and wine glasses nationwide. Rain is reportedly staying at her. Though nothing is official, the connection at the party was very palpable, and Claressa recently shared a new Instagram story in which she cooks in the kitchen with a comment, "Making breakfast for Papoose." What about the one thing that nobody wants to discuss, but everyone is wondering? Is Papoose picking Claressa? This moved from mild side-eye trouble to full-blown pandemonium in a span of 48 hours. The question now is whether Remy will recover with a vengeance or become the girl who caught the cake in her hands and go down in meme history. Will they continue to wrap his thoughts while ladies squabble over him like he's the last man in the Bronx? Or will she finally say something? Will it only have an impact on his career? We may not know everything, but we do know that nobody is getting away with this unscathed. Not in terms of their reputation, their feelings, and most surely not their physical health. A cupcake became a weapon, a champion became a danger, and a rap legend became a patient as this gathering, which was supposed to be a peaceful gathering, morphed into an unofficial, unwinnable rematch of ego versus ego. We now turn to you, our fellow drama-loving detectives, gossip addicts, and truth seekers. Let's not pretend that this story is finished. The next chapter in this drama is already being written, and there will be more tea steeping and leaks in the future. With everyone involved looking messier than the frosting spatter carpet, who is the villain? Who is the victim? And is it even possible to choose a side? Was it a ticking time bomb that ultimately exploded in the wrong room? Or was it Rana, just a woman battling for love? Was Claressa protecting herself with the same hands that made her famous? Or was she acting inappropriately? Because pettiness endures forever in the universe of Remy, Claressa, and Papoose, whereas peace is ephemeral. Which side do you support then? Should Rama sue? Should Claressa apologize? Should Pat Papoose finally take a position? Or should he just leave the nation and start over? Please let us know in the comments. Hit the like button to keep up with all the surprising updates if this story left you feeling stunned at least once. You might also want to share this video with someone who vowed 2025. We go beyond simply reporting the mess. Instead, we analyze and dissect it. You've been witnessing a gossip pour. Next, serve it with a trio of dishes. Gloves until the next time. Lockdown at work.